सलाम मेरे अजीज पंखों।
Whispering with tears to himself, they walked toward the bed and was about to take off his jewelries, and he heard a knock. Looking at the clock, they saw the time where it was 12 of the night. Again, three knock on the door, and they knew who was it would be. They didn't answer, nor open the door, but went to change while outside the door. Jungkook walked back to his room with heavy heart. The next day was fixed function. "You look so beautiful," said Lisa, and he smiled looking at her. "Thank you." The answer and Miss Dawn left there. As Miss Dawn left, Jungkook walked toward them and sat next to Tae. Wet started Tae, and they looked around to find anyone looking at them. But all were busy in themselves. Even Lisa didn't look up at them. They felt strange. "What are you doing here? Go," they whispered to him, who smiled on their scared face. "I was here for something. But okay, as you want me to do it when you will be alone. Fine by me," he said and stood up, but they didn't understand what he said. He walked away and they took a breath of relief. As the function ended, they walked to the room to take rest as 3 hours they again had to get up. Sitting in the room, they paused the door with the help of it to close it. They turned but stopped with shock as they saw him seated on the bed already, with having dry fruits. "What are you doing here?" they asked, closing the door, and stood up while picking up something from the side door. "I'm here for you," he said, and they looked down at his hand. "I'm fine," they said, taking a step back, and he smirked. "You're my bride," he said, stepping closer to Tae. Jungkook stopped. They said he grabbed his waist and pulled him in the circle in his arm. "Don't try to run." He looked at Tae, who was scared and nervous. Slowly his finger touched his left cheeks and at the right. Slowly his hand moved down on Tae's throat, making him breath stop in his chest as he smiled, looking at Tae. "Breathe, my love." His lips traveled down the jaw, leaving intense kisses while his finger playing with the thought, making Tae restless. "Jungkook, please." They tried to stop him, but he didn't listen. Moved down to Tae's neck. He started kissing him, and Tae felt more restless on his heated kisses. Please, unable to control the sensation, they once again tried to stop him, but who was kissing him all? "Jungkook," the moaned as he bit his neck, and at the same time the tear left his eyes. He moved up to see Tae with a smile. Cup his face, he wiped the tears and kept looking at Tae for a few seconds. It was just a trailer. Wait for tomorrow night. With the word, he picked their lips. Winking at Tae, he walked out of there, and they fell down on the ground, thinking how he would stop him tomorrow when their own heart, body, and soul would defeat him, betray him. The next day, and Tae was restless and tension was increasing on every passing second. "Taeyong, you go and get yourself ready," Jin said, looking at Taeyong. "And here are your things," said Yu, giving Tae a dress and some jewelry. "But why?" "I have my," they tried to say, but Miss Dawn entered the room. "Get ready, Taeyong. Wear this tonight," Miss Dawn said, and he obeyed, taking the dress. Taeyong didn't understand what was happening, changing into the red dress, applying makeup, and wearing simple jewelry. They was looking so pretty. His mind was just thinking about him. They didn't see him since the morning. Where he's gone, they thought while stopped down the stairs, looking around to find him, but the hall was empty, and the guest finally had time come, and you went with her husband, leaving her beyond relation behind. They tried to remember his wedding day, when his dad left him with Jungkook. His eyes were teared up, and they walked to Miss Dawn to console her, who was crying. "Oma, don't worry. She'll come to meet you with her husband tomorrow," Taeyong said, which made Miss Dawn smile, and she nodded. Miss Dawn looking at the time and then at him, who was looking so beautiful. "It's quite late now. You should go to your room, Miss Jones said, and they looked around where all were seated there. I'm fine, they said, but Miss Jones narrowed his eyes at him. Go to your room, Miss Jones said, and they walked toward him. The door. Didn't understand what was happening. They stepped in the room and they closed the door and locked it while stepping toward the wardrobe. They stopped as they saw Jungkook in the room. They turned to him shocked as he got up with a smile looking at Tae, who was looking like a bride. What are you doing here? They asked, taking a step back, while, without saying anything, kept moving forward. They stopped as his back touched the wall, and he ended the distance between them, stopped just an inches away from him. You're looking so beautiful, as my bride, he said while tucking his hair behind his ear. Jungkook, what are you doing here? Let me go, he said, somewhere scared of his arrival. It's our wedding night, remember? He asked while the thumb touching his lower creative, a wave of sensation in his body. Don't do this. I told you, I don't love you, they said while his finger moving down to his throat. Really? So my presence, closeness, touch, and love doesn't affect you? He asked and they nodded. Nothing affects me. Your love, your touch, they said looking away from his eyes. Let's see then, he said, and without giving any warning. Today, he claimed his lips with a passionate kiss. His eyes pointed where they protest to get free, but he pushed them back again toward the wall, and they more passionately. His eyes closed down on the feel of the lips and kept as his leaving his lip to move down the cheeks. And Big Dad, don't you feel anything? Whispering in their ear, he asked. No, breathlessly they said, and he smiled while moving down on his neck. He started intense kisses all over their neck. Does it affect? He asked, and they clenched his dress, tried to console. And the sensation? No. They hardly replied, kissing them more passionately while they could not stop the mane, which escaped from his eyes. The hand moved up to his shoulder, to his hair, while he lost himself, kissing Tae and started enjoying the pleasure he was giving him. I love you. Biting on Tae's neck, he whispered which made him, come on. Love you, Jungkook. They replied, lost in the touch. He kept smiling on Tae's neck, licking the collarbone. He trailered, kissing up to Tae's cheeks, and looked at Tae, who was breathing heavily. Say it again, he said, picking Tae's on lips. Love you, Jungkook. They said as Tae was now tired of hiding his feeling in Tae. Tae opened his eyes to see how he pulled Tae in his loving kiss, and Tae wrapped his arms around the kiss. He felt more happy with Tae, and Tae more with love. Still missing Tae, he picked Tae in his arm and walked toward the bed. Both lay down with each other embrace, still kissing. I love you, they said, and he moved back with tears in Tae's eyes. So much time you take to say, he said, looking in Tae's eyes. If I didn't confess then, they asked while holding the shirt, and I was going to marry Lisa, you know. See how beautiful and intelligent, he said, and they narrowed his eyes at him. Okay, then go to her, they said, and was about to get up when he pulled her back and moved on top of Tae. Oh, poor me, she is going to marry someone else. What will I do? He said, and smiled looking at the angry face. Oh, so crazy of her. Why? She asked while taking the cloth. And, of course, she will not spoil my romantic mood like you do. And I can be, over romantic with her. And unfortunately, she is going to marry, and I have to live with you, he said, teasing Tae. So, she is more beautiful, intelligent, and you want to be romantic with her? He asked, fully angered. Of course. How beautiful is she? The words stuck in his thought as they pulled him into closer to him. Whispering, they captured the lips as he smiled and holding Tae in his arms, the both kissing each other with love. Can I? He asked, loving back. They nodded, allowing him for the next step, and smiling, he turned off the light while leaning on the Tae to make him his. Love you. With every kiss, they whispered with those words. Love you, Theo. Spending the night of love, he keep assuring Thay that he loves him. The next morning will fill with happiness. As they opened his eyes, he found himself in his arm. Smiling, they walked out of the bed and went to take a bath. As they came back, changing in red dress, they walked to him, who was still sleeping. Good morning, they said, kissing his forehead. As he opened his eyes to see Thay, good morning, my love, he said and wrapped his arms around him. Suddenly, a knock on the door startled Tay as he got panicked. Jungkook, now what? He asked as he smiled. Go handle it. I'm going to sleep, he said, pulling the blanket on him. They got shocked by the words and turned to the door as they can hear the knock. Good morning, brother-in-law. As they opened the door, Jimin said, looking at him with a smile. Good morning, new bride. Get yourself and your groom ready. We're waiting for you for bath and breakfast, you said while giving the dress to Tay, and was shocked to look at both of them, who was having a noticed smile on their face. Uma is waiting for you, for his younger son-in-law, Jin said, kissing Clay's forehead, and walked with a you, while they turned shocked. I told you, don't get shocked, as it make my heart flutter, and I can't stop myself for he said, and stepping out of the bed and walking toward Taeyang. They, how they? Don't get shocked. The night you talk about me and Lisa married, the night I told everything to Uma and Dad, they were shocked, but then I talked to Lisa's parents. They were relieved to know that because Lisa was not agree on this marriage because she wanted to go and marry someone else. Jungkook narrated all the story and she blinked, his eyes to believe. Let me give you belief that I'm only yours, he said while leaning on their lips, but he paused in his back. You're so bad. Didn't tell me all this day, they said, offended. I wanted to hear your confession, he said, and they smiled. I love you, Mr. Jungkook, they said, while going closer to and bit his lips with love. Smilingly, he get ready and so did they. Both walked out of and toward when they were stepping down on stairs. All family members were looking at him, adoring their beautiful couple, while they looked at each other and smiled knowing that the secret of their marriage was revealed and now they can be together in front of everyone.